Oh, hello. I think I'm live now. All right. Sorry, I'm setting this up. Let's see. Uh, okay. So this is my first live video. A little nervous, but everybody's seen my regular videos with, uh, you know, my gardening videos and stuff like that. But this is the first actual live video. And if there's any problems, anybody has any issues, go ahead and let me know. I'm going to be doing a few different topics on this one. I'm going to be doing gardening updates, the economy, Ukraine, some Star Trek, even. I thought that was kind of interesting because I'm a little disappointed in Star Trek. And who knows, maybe I'll do a little bonus material. A man married to a Filipino, and they can ask me questions too. Anyways, before I go any further in here, I just want to kind of make it clear. You might see me doing weird facial movements. Is something I try and hide with my other um, video or on my regular videos that I upload, and I hide them because I have Tourette syndrome. So they're a little more going to be visible here because I can't hide them by editing them out. So if you see that kind of stuff or this, that's just my Tourette syndrome doing its thing, and I do apologize. But it's kind of something I was born with, and maybe I'll do an entire video of what it's like to have Tourette syndrome. But anyways, so I thought I would kind of start off uh, uh, with one little thing that kind of made me happy today. I went out shopping, and because of the food shortages and economy and stuff like that, uh, the entire aisle of Top Ramen. Hello there, Dracula. um, anyways, the entire aisle of Top Ramen was almost all vegan. Like that was awesome. I mean, uh, even the beef was beef vegan. The chicken was beef or vegan chicken or ramen. And I found something I was never expecting to see in ramen at all, which was a shrimp uh, uh, vegan friendly ramen. So I was really happy about that. I mean, I that's one of my favorite foods before I became vegan was shrimp. And it's one of those huge craving things. And so when you're able to have that, if you have that craving, it helps prevent you from wanting to actually uh, end up eating, you know, non-plant based food. So this is a really nice plus. So so since I've started off with vegan being the topic, I thought I would kind of go into the very first thing I want to talk about, and this is a gardening update. As many of you know, I've been trying to uh, get a garden going, a raised garden. I have ordered wood and everything, but the problem is I haven't received any of Hello Star. I haven't received any of the wood yet. I've been sitting here waiting for the longest time and nothing. Now, um, I've watched it, the tracking. Let me kind of go in here real quick and go into the tracking. Now, I bought the stuff through Home Depot, and so Home Depot outsourced their tracking to Estates shipping, and here I don't know what's wrong with the Estates tracking. It's very strange here. So when I ordered it, let me. Sorry, I'm kind of going through here. When I ordered it, they got the order on the 25th, and on the 26th, supposedly the wood was loaded at their facility. So they had it; it was there, and it was ready to go. So then on the 27th, again, it repeats that it was loaded uh, on the um, at the dock. So it's kind of weird. It repeated itself, but fine. And then also it said that the trailer was closed. So this would indicate that they actually put my stuff on the trailer and it was ready to come to me. So then on the 28th, it says that my stuff, my product was departed, and then not just once, but said it departed twice. and it departed from Middlesex, Pennsylvania. It looks like, then ends up in route, and it goes to Chicago, Illinois. It gets to Chicago, Illinois factory. Then it goes back all the way to Middleton, Pennsylvania. It's like, okay, so this was the first sign something was wrong. I'm like, where's my stuff? What's going on? So I'm like, okay, I've been in trucking. It most likely is something was forgotten, maybe a repair that couldn't be done over there. So, that's fine. And I do know how long it would take. I mean, I used to be a truck driver. I used to love driving truck. I would do all 48 states and Canada, and which, by the way, I don't like Eastern Canada. Not very American friendly, and I got a nice story one day I'll tell about that. But hello there, everyone. Um, I see your comments. I just sorry I'm talking so much I'm not paying all complete attention there. But anyways, so would know how long it would take. It would take, if you're a team driver, about 3 days, easy. If you were a solo driver, it would take you 5 days. You could get there sooner, but most drivers are going to stop and use the bathroom, take a shower, and stuff like that. So I know how long it would take to get here, but it didn't arrive for quite some time. So about on the 15th, after not arriving, and this was past the date. It should have been arrived at least by the 7th, and they gave them more time than necessary. It was from the 1st to the 7th of last month, and it didn't arrive. So estates, for some reason, was sitting here still saying on the tracking, "Oh, nothing moved." It's like, okay. So I called I yeah, I called estates, and I'm like, "Hey, where is it? Why hasn't it moved?" And they're, "Oh, we'll look into it." And they said, "Give us a few days." No response. Well, actually, no. I emailed them. I didn't get a response, and then I contacted Home Depot, and Home Depot said, it give it a few more days, give it till the 15th. They talked to somebody over there. I'm like, okay. So I waited. 15th came, and still nothing. As you could see, well, I don't know if you could see it. Nothing came across. It was it was completely uh, not moving on the tracking number. And so I'm sitting here, I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And so I call them again, say, "Hey, where's my product?" And they go, "Oh, it's there. They just moved it up again." So they moved it to the 28th. So I'm like, okay, so I'll wait. And still nothing. And so finally I call, and I'm talking to the person on there, and I realize they're giving me an estimated date based upon the computer, which just is automatically changing the dates, and it's not actually giving them an answer of where my product is. So I sat there and I asked, "So how many times do I have to call you before it ends up, um, before we consider this lost?" And because the guy was just giving me these dates, so I realized that, and so he disappeared for a second, and then came back and goes, "Okay, uh, it's it, if we don't have if you don't hear anything within 24 hours, or you're going to hear something within 24 hours, we're doing a case, and we'll either reship or something." Nothing. So now here today, I'm in a whole new month. Still don't have my packages so that I can finish my garden, so I can grow stuff, and I still don't have any of it. And so it's like, this is crazy. I mean, one of the things my garden I was counting on for my garden was a very timely manner of getting the supplies so that I can build the raised garden beds, buy the dirt, put the dirt, because I have the money set aside for this. But I'm going to be putting the dirt in there, and then I would be growing all the stuff. And I had my garden all planned out and everything, because this was the small window. This was pretty much it. And the thing is, because it didn't get here, now most of the stuff I want to grow is probably too late. I don't think I'm going to be able to do most of it. I can probably do some of the corn. My wife, by the way, loves my corn on the cob. If I know a lot of people aren't in the Philippines aren't familiar in the way I make it. The Americans make it, but trust me, it's really delicious. And I'll have to do a recipe on that for everybody over there. But anyways, so um, excuse me. So now I got to figure out what I'm going to do. So I'm probably going to grow a lot of corn, and some sunflowers more, maybe more than I was planning, and then I'd probably be doing Let's see. Um, there's this kind of like ancient oats, and I was planning on doing it, but I might end up having to plant more because I'm gonna need to make up for it. And the reason why too I wanted to get this garden going is because well the economy's getting a little rough. I mean inflation's going up, food's a little harder to find thanks to the stuff that's going on in Ukraine, which again I will be kind of talking about. But because of all this, I mean, it's good to be able to be more self-sufficient, and that's what I wanted to do. I want to be more self-sufficient, lower the price, so I spend money now so I can save money later, and that would be the whole idea. But now I can't do that, and thanks to estates trucking. Now I don't just hold estates responsible because they're trucking. I hold Home Depot responsible because Home Depot, yeah, Home Depot. Um, is partially responsible because my view is if you outsource your your brand to somebody else to ship and deliver to you, and there's not like a there's multiple choices, but you chose this one that already has a lot of bad ratings and has the same issues from a lot of other people. Hello there, again. um, anyways, um, anyways, to me they act as your ambassador, so when they mess up it reflects on bad on you, so you're going to have to take the hit. So to me this is a hard one because now I'm going to be giving Home Depot a rating, probably Yelp and whatnot, uh, that's negative because not because they're the ones sewing, but because they chose these people to deliver it and they did a really bad job. And I still don't know where it's at. I got to call again Monday, and I got to say, hey, or text them because I can't get through to them on phone. I have to go through the text, which is horrible because this person's got like multiple screens and can't remember anything we've talked about. Um, but I'm gonna have to sit there and say, hey, where is it? Why didn't I get that call to get my uh, issue taken care of and see what happens from there? Because I need this. I paid for it. Why they should be bringing me the stuff I paid for. So hopefully this gets taken care of pretty soon. Again, I don't know what I'm going to be able to really grow now that it's getting hotter because I'm missing my opportunity. If I planted now, my corn would already be like this high, but I don't have any corn growing because I don't have the stuff. And because I don't have it too, I'm not able to do the videos I was hoping to share, which would be me building the stuff and things like that. So I don't have the amount of time I wanted to do that with you guys. And so that's a bummer for me. And that's a bummer for you guys that wanted to kind of watch me do this. Um, but anyway, so that's kind of I'm just kind of ranting and raving about the bad service I'm getting over there. And so, anyways, so again, for those of you just joining me now, I'm going through a couple different topics, things that I just want to really talk about. And one was my gardening issues that were going on, the effects, the negative effects that are taking place because, well, I'm not getting my wood. But I also wanted to talk a little bit more about the economy, the state of the economy, stuff like that. Ukraine, I'm going to be talking about what's going on over there because this, I think, it impacts everybody in the end. And I wanted to talk about Star Trek. I don't know how many out there enjoy Star Trek. It's an American thing that a lot of us really enjoy. But I don't know. Is there any Filipinos out there who enjoy Star Trek? Anybody? No. Oh. Well, if you have a chance to watch any of the originals, you're going to have to try it. It's a really great show, but the new show is awful. And then again, I might go into a little bit of a bonus, which might be what it's like being married to a Filipino kind of thing. Anyways, so uh, I want to go on. I thought I'd talk about the economy. A lot of people, especially here in America, kind of concerned about the economy, and so am I, which is one of the reasons, again, I did the gardening there. But everywhere you go, you can see the effects. I mean, prices of everything are going up little by little. Shelves are being changed. I mean, the ingredients on there, like you'll have more of one thing that you weren't used to, and some things just aren't there. Brands you like are now being replaced, so that it's kind of having that negative effect. But it's again, like I kind of opened up. earlier today. It has one positive is because of the inflation and hard to find ingredients and stuff like that. I got vegan shrimp. Again, that is still just so awesome. Being able to have something I enjoyed and having more options when it comes to top ramen. Because beforehand, I didn't have any options. I had absolutely no options. I had, well, that's not true. The first time I did have options was a stir fry, sweet and sour stir fry thing. But it was it, and it just kind of appeared. And I guess now, as time has gone, people are changing their ingredients to be because meat prices are expensive. They're like, well, just make it flavored and not actually contain real meat. And so, they now have it where it's friendly for me, and I'm rather enjoying that. Um, so, anyways, by the way, I got a joke for everybody. Why do ducks have tail feathers? So they can hide their butt quacks. Yes. Anyways, uh, another duck one. Why did the duck go to prison? Because he got caught with quack. Okay, I know I'm bad. Anyways, uh, sorry, my wife is pointing at something. What do you?
You press that
Which one? What I press?
one, the laughing one.
Laughing one? Oh, I'm
You
supposed to
make a
press the
joke.
laughing button. Oh, okay. Which one's laughing? Okay,
No? No.
not that one.
Oh, yeah, that one. Hi, guys. This one. You're making a joke
The
and then you
applause.
didn't say anything.
This is my first time. It's hard.
Hi.
I'm mostly rambling. I don't know. I'll have to unlearn all these things. I guess that would be appropriate. Um, anyways, so uh, I could see the effects of everything. One thing I've noticed too is if you go to the store, if you read like the expiration date or the sell by date, there's no longer a lot of time. Like canned foods, if you look at the dates on the canned foods, back in the day, you'd have like 2 years. It was good for 2 years. Now read it, you'll be lucky it's good for an entire year instead of like maybe 6 months at best, maybe. So
Yeah.
that seems to be the average. So a lot of stuff has been affected by the economy right now. And I think a lot of people don't really understand how bad it can get. I mean, think about it. We're spending money or printing money like crazy, and then we're giving money and stuff to another country that there's a war going on, and then at the same time, uh, the country we're sanctioning a country where we get a lot of our food from. So and that's like spread out. Like wheat is used in everything, cereals, um, uh, different kinds of foods, grains, kind of thing. Then it's also uh, used to feed animals, so the price of meat goes up. So one thing affects a whole lot of other things. So it's causing things to keep going up. Now, it's not just that; the fertilizer's going up, and right now fertilizer's like gone up 400%. So farmers are like, "What do we do? Do we grow anything or just wait?" And so probably around November, when everything's due to come to pass, we're gonna see the shortage hit hard. So one of the things I've been doing, and again, it's the farming part, the gardening, but I've been slowly building up food supplies and stuff like that, and trying to save up what I can where I can. I've been dehydrating foods more. Uh, I'm thinking I should get like a commercial dehydrator, especially if I start gardening back there, because food doesn't last long when it's fresh. So if I could just start dehydrating stuff more, that'd be awesome. And maybe get some, what are those kind of jars? I don't know. They're like pickling jars, but I can put dehydrated foods in there too and make stuff last a long time. So hopefully I can get more stuff done and be less impacted when things, hit the proverbial fan. Um, so I mean, there's a lot of things that that are having an effect. Now, as a vegan, you would think maybe it would be affecting us more because there's this myth that vegans pay more for food and stuff, but that's actually not true. Well, it depends. If we bought a lot of junk food, pre-processed foods, then it would be more expensive. Uh, I love you too, sweetie. Um, uh, I'm sorry. I'm talking so much. I'm not reading as much as I should. But anyways, and I want to thank everybody who's here right now too. Thank you for showing up. It's really appreciated. It's kind of cool to be able to uh, interact with people. If I miss a comment, I'm sorry. Again, I will be doing a questions and answer at least at the end. So if you have any questions or stuff, you can answer. You can come back and ask me then. But anyways, so uh, for a vegan, it's actually been beneficial. I mean, things have gone up. Um, Fresh fruits and stuff still have been going up, but things like what I was showing you earlier, I'm getting that kind of stuff, and that's actually pretty good. I mean, I bought a whole pack of this vegan beef ramen, and that was only $2. I mean, it should cost me more, but it was a whole pack of them, and it was a lot less. So I guess it allowed them to drop their price more by getting rid of the beef, which beef products or the actual animal products in there. So that was really awesome. Um, how much do I love you? I love you very much, uh, more than you would know. She's picking on me. She's trying to get embarrass me in front of all my fans. Uh, but anyways, so I got my vegan stuff going, and it's not so bad. But I think it's hitting meat eaters the hardest right now because everything is going up, and it's gonna keep going up, and they're paying more and more. Right now, vegan meat finally costs less than regular meat does. The meat. So my vegan chicken, which isn't real chicken, is cheaper than actual chicken. Now that'll probably change as people go, okay, I can't afford the real chicken. Let me start buying the vegan chicken, and then my stuff will start getting more expensive at some point in time. But for right now, it's a great thing for me, and I think for everybody in the end, if they start being able to eat vegan stuff and realize it tastes just like regular chicken, it's not an issue. Why am I doing this with the animals? But anyways, it's not a huge impact, but I suspect it will be at some point in time. I try to eat mostly fresh stuff, keeping my price of all my stuff down. Anyway, so next on my list was the Ukraine war, and this is kind of a biggie. There's a, I love you, more. How much more? Uh, More than your height. You know, my wife, she's short.
What the heck? I'm sure.
Yeah, it's okay. You can get a job posing for trophies. I love her. I do. Even her being short. I'm not a tall person myself, so I shouldn't really say much, but you know, I love her. Anyways, so the Ukraine war to me is stupid. One, I'm gonna flat out say I don't like war. I don't believe in war. I think we should stay out of wars. And two, we I don't believe what the government says. Plain and simple. I mean, there probably is some truth. There's probably a lot of lies. I mean, I remember like when America went into Iraq, and they said there was weapons of mass destruction, and it turned out there was not. I remember these things, all these little lies that they tried to use to justify going in and fighting these wars. So to me, saying these are the reasons, and building up for this, it's like why? I mean, how much of this can I actually believe with the history of the governments saying all these falsehoods about the reasons why we go into the wars? So I I really can't. I just can't believe the reason. I won't believe it unless maybe several years passed, and now we got a chance to investigate a lot of the things that are happening, and even some of the tells that we're hearing over there. Oh, we're destroying the Rus or the Ukrainians are destroying the Russians and stuff like that, and doing all this. I'm not sure how much of that I can believe either, because I remember like Pat Tillman. He was this football player. He stopped playing football to go fight in Afghanistan and stuff, and he died. And they said he died a heroic death and all that. And it turned out he didn't. He got shot by one of his own, friendly fire, and they still were running with that, even when they knew it was untrue. But they kept running with it, and so it makes me wonder how much of this would be believable when it came to what's going on over there. So I just don't know how much to believe. I do believe that we have instigated this. I think a lot of the problem, one of the reasons why the war has taken place is America instigated this war. This might not be what a lot of people want to hear, but uh, hello there, Mary Jane. Um, Thank you for stopping by. Anyways, this may not want to be what a lot of people want to hear, but you know, because one of the reasons why Russia is fighting Ukraine, and I don't think they should. It's stupid. Why risk people dying? I guess it's easier when you're the leader and can send other people to die, but not yourself. So I guess it's easier for that kind of thing. But one of the reasons is America kept crossing these red lines. Like, America, please don't cross this line. We cross it, and they draw back their line. Please don't cross this line, and then America would cross the line, right? And one of the final ones, the big ones that caused this war to go on was they were saying, "Hey, don't try and get Ukraine to join NATO. Don't let them join NATO or the EU. Let them be a neutral country so that we feel safe and not have you right on our border." And uh, I guess the Ukraine president, he gave an interview. He said, "Oh yeah, we were told by NATO we would never be allowed to join, but we're gonna. They told us to keep telling Russia that we're going to." So right there tells me that gave Russia reason to believe that they were going to join, and so Russia felt they needed to, you know, intervene at that point. So they ended up going in there. So I believe a huge portion or a huge reason why we ended up getting, or why they ended up fighting in or going to war with Ukraine, even though they don't call it a war, they call it a special operations. Uh, but anyways, I think the reason why they did that was because they felt threatened, and America helped antagonize this. So this could have been avoided if America didn't antagonize it. At least this is my view right now. It can change as I get more information and stuff like that through the future. Because again, you really don't know what happens through the fog of war. You find out years and years later. I mean, we're still finding out things about the Iraq War, um, but now we have this whole mess going on over there. So, um, I mean, and it's kind of sad too. I mean, there are a lot of people dying. I mean, have any of you seen some of the photos of the cities? They're just demolished. There's nothing left, and this is what war does. And it's kind of horrible in the sense that not just they're losing uh, their homes, or losing their lives, kids. It's tragic, and so again, this is why war should be avoided at all costs. But again, shout out, hello show, shout out to Poe. Okay. Who? I guess you shout out Dracula. Uh, Sorry, I'm trying to figure out who you want me to shout out. Uh, I'll give you a
Hello
sec.
to you, babe.
Oh, shout out to me. Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
it's saying hello, sir.
Oh, okay. I thought she was wanting me to shout out somebody. Okay.
Yeah, get through this. Get
Okay.
through this, Dracula.
Kudos, Dracula.
He's asking for shout out from you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Shout out there.
All right. Um, so yeah, so I mean that's what reason why wars are really stupid. And you know, uh, some of the kind of like topics I wanted to talk about when it came to this war. Also, is one of the things like I was kind of mentioned before is I don't think we should be fighting wars in other countries. I think we should be keeping with our promises. If we've promised to defend somebody, we should do that. Which is kind of strange because one of the things when it came to Ukraine is we promised that we would defend them if they gave up their nuclear weapons, right? Because they used to have nuclear weapons, and they said, "Okay, you give us securities, we'll give them up." Look what happened; they gave them up, and all we're doing is sending weapons over there for them to use, and we're not actually holding to our end of the bargain. And I think if we promise that kind of stuff, we need to hold to those promises. So why haven't we kept to our promise? And this, to me, would make other people around the world. Uh, yes, I'm a little nervous. Still, it's my first live view. Um, but I think when when other countries see this, like, wait, they're not, they promised to defend them and they didn't. Now they're promising they'll defend us. Should we believe that? So that's one of the reasons why it's like, if you promise something, you have to hold that promise. It's actually something I try and instill in my son. It's like, when he tries to say, "Dad, will you promise?" Like, no, I'm not promising unless I'm actually going to do everything within my power to do it and stop at nothing, to do it. So I try to, hello there, Mogul. Um, uh, so I try to, I try to, hold my promises, and I think that's something our country should be doing. But at the same time, I think we shouldn't even be promising these things, because we shouldn't be involving ourselves in the affairs, especially wars of other countries. I think we should kind of go back to the way America once was. It's like, hey, leave us alone, we leave you alone. That's it. Stop being the world's police. I'm sure, after some wars, things will stabilize over there on their own. But if not, well, that's for them to figure out their own problems. Um, Sending our own people out there to die and stuff, I don't think that's right. I mean, so we should keep our promises. We should have defended Ukraine as promised. We, given them the securities we did. We should be defending Taiwan if they're attacked. We promise, so we have to. Philippines, I think the Philippines and us have this really awesome relationship, and I think, a long time ago when America did found itself retreating, it promised somebody. The history, I don't know who they promised. Said, the general said, "We promised we're coming back," and we did. And I think, we should hold to those things. Um, but again, I don't think we should be going into these foreign countries, into these foreign wars and stuff, and doing that. It's really stupid, and it gets people killed. And the more we involve ourselves into these things, the worse it gets. And right now is the worst time to do a lot of the stuff we're doing. I mean, our economy, because of COVID, it's already shocked, because we lost a lot of the jobs because we shut down businesses. That was really stupid to do. I understand it, but I don't think it was the best option available. Um, and so, uh, because of that, we were impacted, and now because what's going on in the war, we're more impacted. And so everything is just coming to heel, coming back to bite us in the butt. And it had to happen at some point, right? Um, so I don't know what that person's saying. So, uh, I love you, my half. Half, I'm your whole. I should be your whole. Hi there. Thank you for the shout out there, Shen. Um, anyways, um, now one of the things too is, can Ukraine win? That's a question that a lot of people. Uh, we love you, Shen. Thank you, Dracula.
You
Uh,
didn't say slow talking.
what?
They say you talking so fast.
I'm sorry. Apparently, I'm talking fast. I apologize. I don't mean to talk so fast. Um, it's just my natural state. But anyways, so one thing a lot of people wonder is the war in, um, Ukraine. Can Ukraine win? I don't really believe so. I think it's hard to tell. We're being reported things are going great, but I don't really know. I mean, they're up against a larger force that at any point can actually just come in and or use nukes. But it's one of those I can't really tell. I think in the long run, Russia will lose, even if they got all of Ukraine. I think, the sanctions and everything will take part and, cost them. Eventually, they would have to retreat, and probably break up their, uh, Russia because of it. But I think in the short run, they absolutely could if they really dedicate themselves to it. But I think it would cost them so much that it would probably have their people turn against them. Right now, they're trying to keep those numbers down, and that's costing them the war, I think. But how long until they finally flip? I don't know. Anyways, there's probably more to the story too. Like Finland and Sweden, these two countries universally, have always been, neutral, and they you couldn't push them towards being not neutral in the past, but all of a sudden now they're not. They're wanting to join NATO. I've never seen that before, so that tells me they probably see something or know something that none of us know, and it's looking scary. And the only problem is all these things of people joining NATO, or the countries joining NATO, and all this could result in us giving Ukraine weapons that's helping, cause Russian soldiers that could create nuclear war. That's something we want to avoid because once that happens, even if you're not here getting bombed and you're all the way out in the southernmost part of South America, you're probably not going to survive. It's you know fallout and uh, nuclear winter and stuff. So it's like we need to make sure we avoid this at all costs. Anyways, so Star Trek. I want to go to a more happy area. What kind of happy? I wish it would be happy, but see, I'm a big fan of Star Trek. It's a science fiction kind of story thing. It's been going on since before I was born with Captain Kirk, and I liked the original show. I used to watch it all the time. I really enjoyed it. What's this? Okay, buy me some corn then. A little late. Okay. Um, so I guess can you settle for my corny jokes? Anyways, um, so there's just over here. I said corny jokes. Just give me a funny eye. So I've been a big fan of Star Trek for a long time, and I was a Next Generation Star Trek fan, and I remember I was young and I had a bedtime at 10, but the show would come on at 10, so I'd always pretend to be asleep and then change the channel, and I'd watch Star Trek for the hour it was on and enjoyed the show, and it was my thing, and I think my mom knew I was doing that, and so but let me get away with it at the time because she knew I really loved it, so it's kind of like that little give and take thing, and I appreciate that she would do that if that's what she did, because I cannot see her actually not knowing that's what I was doing. But anyways, so the show ended, and then there were some two other Star Trek shows. There was what was it? Voyager, Deep Space Nine. I really enjoyed Deep Space Nine. Well, it had a rough start, but it found its way. I loved the war part, and Voyager was okay. I think they really lost the plot. I knew what they wanted to do and started. Basically, the ship and it's lost out in space far away, trying to come back, and it would slowly run out of supplies and stuff like that. Uh, Kind of like Battlestar Galactica's remake was, um, but never got there, and it just went in its own direction, and I didn't like it until 7 and 9 joined. But anyway, so the show ended, and eventually Star Trek came back on CBS, and it was Star Trek Discovery. It was okay. It was yeah, I had to get rid of the idea of Star Trek to even enjoy the show because it kept messing up things that, like, this was supposed to be a prequel, things that happened before all the other shows we watched. Yet somehow they had technology that was more advanced than the stuff in the future. So it's like, how do you get there? So I uh, can you tell can you tell about me? I'll get to you. Uh, let's eat lunch, guys. Um, so I watched it, uh, and then it's like I just couldn't get into it. It wasn't the same. And then Picard was coming. I'm like, okay, Picard, that's got to be good. It's based off of my favorite guy in Star Trek: Next Generation. I watch him. Show was awful, awful. In the show, uh, basically, they've taken the best enemy I've ever seen in any movie. I mean, other than like Aliens and Predator, those were the two favorite alien enemies. But in this case, it was the Borg, and they just turned the Borg into scavengers in the end. So it's what it looks like. So I was really disappointed in the direction uh, that they took Star Trek in, and it upset me because we're talking about the Borg. These people would come in and go, "We are the Borg. Uh, Lower your shield, surrender ships. We'll add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own," and then that would be it. And they were the hive mind. They would turn you into them, and they were half machine, half uh, you, kind of thing. And that's what made them really awesome. Because once they assimilated you, they knew everything about you. Your knowledge and everything would add to them. They would be smarter. They know how to defeat you. So it was it was a great enemy, and then they just destroyed it. So I was kind of sad with that. But anyways, my wife really wants me to. Hold on, what's this? Yes, sir. Can you describe Auntie Darling Co. as a wife? Okay, so I'm getting a lot of requests to describe my wife. Uh, well, as you already know, I described her as short.
Hey,
uh, well, uh, my she's a special person to me. When I first met her, I didn't meet her in person at first. We were exchanging emails, and uh, we talked a while like that for a while. And uh, I all I had was pictures of her and letters, but no real ability to know her because to really know somebody, you got to be there in the presence, see them, talk to them personally. So when I went over there, I was taking a risk. Like, is this the same person? Is there not? And she was probably doing the same with me, taking a risk. Is this the same person that she knew online? You know, what was what was I like? So we both were probably on their nerves, and I remember first thing when I got off the plane, there she was jumping up and down, waiting for me. It's like yay, and giving me this big hug. It was just so awesome. Like wow, she's so happy to see me, and I loved it. You know, and I knew as I'm sitting there talking to her, I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to marry her. So this first time marrying, I'm like, okay, I know her from the thing, but I'm seeing this person who is so happy to see me. I'm like, awesome. And so you know, I'm getting to know her this way. Now, that's not to say that she hasn't changed in the years. I think we all change throughout our lives. But when I first met her, um, you know, she had her uh, youthful energy that just radiated from her. Like if you could see energy, you would see it. It'd be like an aura just around her. There's pink aura everywhere, and she'd be all colored like that. Um, uh, Now, when she's angry, maybe it'd be black. uh, but um, no, uh, although her energy level over the years has gone, it's been replaced with a caring level, like a need to be helpful, a need to be there and try and how do I put this? It's some things are not easily quantifiable in words here, but it would be more like an attempt to be loving, like attempt to be approved. Like, do you approve of this? Do you like this? So it's more like, uh, do you like what I'm doing, kind of thing. So before
do
it would
I?
see, it's more of a change from I'm excited to see you, I want to know you to now can I please you kind of thing. And that's kind of like something I learned like when I was in the Philippines. Everybody was always happy, smiling. I loved it. It made the Philippines an awesome place. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some bad people somewhere over there, but most of the people, at least everybody I met, was always really happy, really joyful, and my wife was top of the line as happy and joyful kind of person. I think I worn her out in that area. Uh, but anyways, so you know. Being married to her, I've had to learn a lot of little quirks. Like I'll be, hey, where's this at? And she'll go, like, what's this? She'd be pointing with her nose. I'm like, what are you doing? Sniffing the air? I'm like, what does that mean? I don't know what that is. So that's one of the quirks I have to get to. And I'm like, babe, what are you talking about? And she's like, no, use your words. And she go over there. Over there, where? Behind the couch, on the table, in another room. Where over there? Help me. So and see, I'm a man already, so we're really horrible at finding things when it's right in front of us. Anyways, like I'll say, "Where's the ketchup?" And she'll go next to the mustard, and I go, "Where's the mustard?" And then she'll have to get up and get it for me. So um, there's there's a truck going by. So having that little point thing, I've had to get used to, and I've been trying to help her help me find things when I ask, because that little nose there. And I've heard that's universal. Like a lot of Filipinos do that, and I guess you have to grow up with it to be able to understand which direction the nose is pointing to be going there. Which is funny because she always is like, that's her feature she doesn't like about herself, her nose. But I love her nose. Like she's like, I don't like my nose. I don't like it. I'm like, I love your nose. But the thing is, she doesn't, and yet she uses her nose to point the things. Like I can't find anything when you do that. So I've had to learn little quirks like that. And uh, uh, she's Filipino food's a little different than American food. American food depends where you're at. American food's different. Like if you go towards like Oklahoma, everything is fried. You go towards Louisiana, you get a lot of crawfish and seasonings and spices. You go to California, and it becomes more rich and more vegetable kind of stuff. So everywhere's a little different. But Filipino food seems to be kind of universal, and there are things I really enjoy. What's this? How you manage your time to your family? I sleep. uh, uh, no. Um, yeah, so how do I manage my time? Well, I don't have as much time as I wish I did. Um, I wish I had more time to spend with them than I do. But the problem is, I worked at nights, so I end up having to work while the kids are asleep, and my wife is should be asleep but is awake, and then during the day I'm sleeping and they're awake, so I don't get to see them as much as I'd like to. I really wish I could spend more time with them, spending more in there, but hopefully in time I will be eventually doing something during the day that'll allow me to spend more time with them. Um, hopefully soon. My current job takes a lot out of me. I work in a laboratory, and COVID took a toll. COVID really took a toll on everybody in there, and it took its toll on me. Um, the stress is high. I mean, I got a lot of raises out of it, but it's still it did its thing. And so it makes my job harder. And because my job's harder, I come home and I just want to relax. I don't want to deal with anything. So it's kind of unfair to her in many ways because of that. And I do try, but unfortunately, I still got to come home at some point and get some sleep. And because even on my days off, I still have to try and keep my my sleep cycle the same. Otherwise, I won't be able to function. But anyways, going back to food, unless there's other questions that pop up, um, like adobo, I like adobo, but now because they do chicken adobos, she's gonna have to make it with vegan. I actually just bought some vegan chicken, so if she wants to make me something, with it, I'll be fine with it. So I like that. I like pancit. Oh, I love pancit. Matter of fact, that's something I think every American really does like about the Filipino foods is pancit. It seems to be universal. I don't know why, but we all seem to really enjoy pancit. So if you ever have an American, uh, you're like sitting there cooking for them, do pancit. It'll make them happy because I remember hearing stories of my wife's sister's husband would go there and he would just eat bread because he wasn't comfortable with the food because like Filipinos will have the head of the fish on there, but Americans don't like seeing the fish head on their fish. So they're like, it's kind of different. Or it's spaghetti with hot dogs instead of uh, uh, what are they? Meatballs. So uh, you know, there's some little things that Americans do have to adjust. But also, I've learned that Lou's had to adjust to a lot of American food. Like she came in rice all the time, like every meal, rice. It was the main thing. Now it took her several years, and she doesn't eat as much, but she still eats it. And I've actually become accustomed to eating plain old white rice, and I like it. It just takes time for you and me to, or me and her to kind of adjust to each other when it came to different foods. Sorry, such a hardworking husband. Well, sometimes hardworking is not everything. Again, I work too much, too hard. I don't have much of a choice right now, and it takes away from my family, and I don't like taking that time away. I want to spend more time. I mean, one of my goals is hopefully to eventually work at home or have my own business and be able to spend time and maybe move out of the city into like a rural area, where maybe it's still a little drive to a small town, or maybe live in a small town. Some maybe farm animal kind of things out there. Something that I think would be a better environment for my kids. Because one thing I would love is a small town where my son's first love, the first person he had a crush on, would end up being the person he marries later on. So I would like that to be uh, kind of the environment for him, and because in the city and everything we have computers and phones. I mean, my kids, and the phones already. And it's like, I didn't want to do that originally. When I first had Elijah, I was like, I don't want him to watch TV. I want to get it now. Now he's got TV and stuff. So it didn't work out the way I was planning. Um, but, it's got to do what you got to do. And because I work so much, I don't have as much time to spend with them. And I have to sleep when she's working, or she's working. I have to watch them, and I'm already really tired, so I don't have the energy just to go out and do things. So, in many ways, it's unfair to my kids and to lose uh, that I do work. I mean, it's great that that I'm a hardworking husband, and a lot of women like that, but it's also unfair. And that's one of the reasons why I quit truck driving. See, I used to be a truck driver again, as I mentioned, and I would spend a lot of my time on the road. I'd spend 3 months at a time and come home for 3 days, you know. And this was before I met my wife. And when I first met her and all that, I made a choice not to do it. And it was good money. I was practically on my way to being rich almost. I mean, I was making nearly $200, $200,000 a year, and I was because I made all the right choices. I knew exactly what I was doing. I got a plan. I stuck to it, and I was making good money. The problem is, it would be unfair to be on the road all the time and her at home, or to have her in my truck driving with me. Because the one thing I do know, if you're stuck in that truck, and I've seen it as a truck driver, people end up getting on each other's nerves because they're right there with each other all the time. And so it would take its impact on her. And I wanted to make sure I thought of her first, because, me as a husband, whoops, me as a husband, I got to turn this off. I just touched something there. Uh, my primary job that I feel that I have is to protect my wife and my children from harm, to anticipate things and plan for them, emergencies and stuff. And then the other is to try and make sure I can support them and then spend time with them. And uh, one of the hardest parts when you're doing everything else is that spending time. So it's hard. And again, I do wish I could spend a ton more time. Um, if I was working at home and stuff, I could at least maybe split up my day or stop what I'm doing and go do something with them and then come back or something. Something that I could do just to make sure I'm spending time with them. One of the best ways I could do that is get a day job. Problem is, working in the lab, a day job is like too stressful. I did that, and it was just destroying me. It was mentally, I just couldn't do it. So I had to switch to nights, and it gave me a lot of options in that sense to be, uh, you know, more or less stressful. But then COVID hit, and it kind of ruined that. And so hopefully soon I'll eventually get out of that. It'll depend on a lot of different factors. Um, uh, and looking for a new job would probably be not the best, because I have to, uh, you know, find a job that pays what I'm making and stuff like that. So, and all that other stuff. Let's see what have we got here. Yes, sometimes it's unfair. Mary here says sometimes, yes, sometimes it's unfair, but you're lucky enough to be home every day. Unlike my husband, we are in I- Idar.
long distance.
Oh,
Remember for
oh, long
us,
distance,
long time.
IDR, long distance relationship, in about 2 years
That
now.
is happened to us.
Oh.
But
Yeah, well, you know what? When I first met my wife, when we were, after we met, went there, went to the Philippines and all that, came back. It was a long process to get her back, and we were in there, and it felt so bad. I know, and Luz even told me at some points in time she was starting to give up because she felt like it wasn't going to happen, kind of thing, like something was wrong. Some of her friends even were starting to say discourage her on it, and so it was negatively impacting her. And the problem that kept it, I think, made it slow down, was this took place after the World Trade Centers were hit by um, uh, uh, planes. And because that took place, they made it harder, and it took longer to get people over, because they extended how much the background checks and stuff. So it was so unfair to her, and I felt for her. And it wasn't just her. I mean, it was impacting me. I'd be sitting there talking to my mom, like, what do I do? I love this woman, and she's still over there, and I'm over here. What are we gonna do? And I'm like, well, if they're not gonna let her come over here, then fine, I'm going there, kind of thing. I wouldn't know what the heck kind of job or anything I do over there. I'm not a farmer or anything. That's her dad's thing, and but it I feel for you, because that long distance relationship does have an impact, and it can take a long time. I wouldn't give up. I mean, it took us like 2 years, and that's hard. So hopefully soon, Mary, you will see him. I don't know. Is it because they're over there and you're here, or is he just simply works somewhere far away? Let's see. So sad, but for the future of our kids, we need to sacrifice in this kind of situation. Yeah, your kids do need the sacrifice. But is he over there because is this just simply because of trying to get uh, like the green card or something, or is this because just simply because of a job that keeps him so far away? I'm waiting.
what
Uh, I don't know. I think she's probably typing.
Oh,
So, well, if it's
no, if he's talking about this, yeah, it is hard to be because about this like that.
yeah.
They are long distance relationship, but they sacrificing it for the future of the kids. That is what
Well,
said.
I'm just wondering, is it because they're in the Philippines and he's here, or is
No,
it?
I think it's other country.
Oh,
Anong US?
well, that's what I was asking.
I
Uh,
other country maybe.
yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I think
Because some people work overseas, but for 2 years straight, it's
mm,
probably like a citizenship issue kind of thing.
yeah.
But yeah, so if it's
Hey guys,
citizenship,
thank you for supporting and Madagdag.
mm, uh, so if it's a citizenship kind of thing, um, it's gonna take a while. I mean, I kind of got lucky in a little bit, because her sister um, knew how to fill out the paperwork already. That was something she knew, so that kind of helps there. And I used her help, but the problem is like, if paperwork is wrong in one little spot, then they have to send that paperwork back to you. You got to redo it and resubmit it, and then probably I think they'll charge you again too, and so it becomes expensive and time consuming. And then you got to do your part, which would be to go in and get your records, uh, and if they have issues, it causes problems. Like right now, uh, my wife's birth certificate, and I didn't know it. They actually have two different ones over there. I guess they have a city one and a country one or something. But anyways, it's really blurry, and so like we're having issues with that right now, just to get our kids' uh, birth certificate changed, because they put the wrong info on there, and our daughter is now over a year old, and they haven't fixed it. So it's been a fight. I'm probably gonna have to like do it, like get a lawyer to get it right, because the problem is, if it's not right, at any time, even if I sign a letter saying, "Hey, you can go to the Philippines," they see that and they go, "Wait, this doesn't match your records, so you can't be this person." And so I would have to always be there. So that's going to be a problem at some point because she goes there sometimes without me. Well, a lot of times, unfortunately, because I'm always working, and I wish I wasn't. Um, but again, hopefully that changes, and we can go over there together and see Dad. I miss him. He's an awesome guy, by the way. Her dad, who's now my dad, is really awesome. Uh, he's got like all these ducks. There's this video of him with all these ducks are quacking and falling. It's awesome. One of my very first pets was a duck, so it just kind of brought back old memories. But anyways, so I would say, hold it as strong as you can. Oh, wait, here we go. Yes, there's a lot of work in the Philippines, but sometimes it's not good. That's why he need to go far for the future. But it's okay, still fighting. Yeah, I'm sorry if he's so far away. I mean, yeah, I don't know
The last word is
the
that was not.
I don't know the details of it, but I'm you I wouldn't give up. Maybe if it's a work thing, see if maybe you can change the work at some point or something. Otherwise, if it's uh, uh, again a citizenship thing, I would give it some time, fight for it, and tell them to call. Call constantly. Hey, I submitted my application. Where is it? Where is it? Kind of thing, because they tend to forget things and put you on the back burner, and that's it. There's not much you can do about it. So, that's kind of uh, advice I can give on that. Does anybody have any questions? Anything they want to ask me? My life, my marriage with my wonderful wife, being vegan. Oh, he's in the Middle East. Yeah, is he? Is it military or citizenship? Because I know there's a lot of people that are in the military over there, but then I know a lot of people in the Philippines that are also married to somebody in the Middle East. So I'm just wondering which is he in the military over there, or if he's just a citizen there, and it's just the difficulty of you know getting that ability to see him. So, you know, oh, here we go. There's no green card or so there, sir, but it is a open country. Hmm. I wonder why it would take so long then. I don't know what specific country. I'd have to kind of look up maybe what the
I
conditions
think
are
that
for it.
she is in Saudi.
Saudi Arabia. I don't know. I
Middle
thought
East. You can ask
I thought in Saudi Arabia, if you were married, you could just bring them in. So I don't know. Um, I don't want to really give advice because I don't know
her. Yeah.
how the laws or anything over there work. I know more about America because one, I've been through the process and I know the
Oh,
laws
he
here.
is in the Middle East.
Yeah. So uh, all I can do is say try your best to if it's a take vacation every take vacation every 2 years. Wow, only every 2 years. Uh, so I would assume you'd be able to join him. Is it just that he comes to you, or that you can go to him? I mean, have you ever been there to see him? Because I mean, I
No,
don't.
it's hard in the Middle East.
Well, I don't know. Maybe just I don't know. I know you. I think in some places you're gonna have to wear like the hot job or something. But I don't know where specifically. But anyways, I would I would try and see what I could how you could speed up the process. If it's just he's working there, yeah, yes, sir. I have been there before too working. Okay, so I don't know. I find out what the laws are. I don't know what your financial situation is, but maybe there's like a lawyer that helps in the process of it. Because I know here in America there are lawyers that are specific to helping get citizenship for your particular country, or for getting married to a foreigner and then bringing them here or going over there. So I assume there probably is something similar there, or at least maybe some organization. I wish I could give some advice on that, but I don't. I don't know enough. I feel comfortable giving you advice or saying anything specific on that particular uh, my particular view on it, because I really don't have enough information in general to I've general to feel qualified to talk about it in a sense there. Yeah. Say, can you sing one song, please? No, no, I cannot sing, not unless, because many people do enjoy their speakers and don't want their speakers broken. Because uh, if any of you heard me sing, uh, you'd probably go deaf and scratch your eyes out of your eye sockets because I'm that bad. So you don't want that. No, no. And besides, I don't even know any songs really. I can hum. That's about it. I can probably hum some songs. I can't even speak English, and that's my native language. Can't even sing some songs there. I might get a drink. My mouth is getting dry from talking for an hour. I don't normally talk that long in a row. That's more my wife. She talks all the time. Talk, 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 talk. Oh, I was expecting her to come around the corner and slap me, but she didn't. So I guess I'm safe. But so let's see. So you don't have any songs for me? No, I have no songs for you. Uh, uh, you know I mean I don't sing. That's you. If you want to sing, I don't sing. I barely sing "Happy Birthday," and I can't sing that because technically that's a copyrighted song. So, you know. And they would end up freezing the account or something. Um, but yeah. So, uh, anybody have any questions? Um, any questions? I mean, it doesn't have to be specific to the topic. It may be like, what's it like this way, or something. Muscly. No, other than singing. No, asking me to sing songs. Eight, just go sing. No. So, anyways, so that was pretty much kind of like my first video, just kind of ranting, raving, kind of thing. I know Luz wants to do like a joint thing, like a little game thing or something like that together. So we'll probably eventually do that. I don't know what she has exactly planned. She has some idea of doing letters and putting speakers on and guessing. Uh, we're trying to read lips or something. So we'll have to see what that game entails. Um, so but I guess that could be a little fun. What's this one? So you don't. Well, I still love you, even if you don't have a song for me. I hope so. You're married to me. You don't want to not love the person you're married to. But well, so yeah, so that's so we'll probably have a few other videos. This was just more of my first intro test video, seeing how it goes, and if I'd be able to entertain myself long enough to do this kind of video. Um, so if there's no other major questions or anything like that, then I guess I can end it on a high note. I'm rocking back and forth, probably making you dizzy rocking my chair. Maybe some interesting jokes or something I can give to you before I go. Why did the pink elephant tiptoe across the medicine cabinet? He didn't want to wake up the sleeping pills. Get it? sleeping pill. I know. I'm full of dad jokes, so it kind of makes it a little interesting. I mean, I got other jokes, not just dad jokes. Dad jokes are my number one thing. I was telling my, I was like, we got a problem with one of our electricity in one of our sections of our house, and my wife's like, "You're horrible at repairing electrical things." Well, I can tell you this: she's going to be in for a shock. Okay, that one you'll have to figure out that one on your own. But, anyways, it was good seeing y'all, and thank you all for joining my stream. And I wish you all the best of luck. Hopefully, you guys learned a little bit of something about me and uh, enjoyed a ranting and raving video that uh, ends like this. I mean, I don't know how to end a video. I feel there should be an awesome ending kind of thing. I just can't think of how to end it where it'd be awesome other than bye, see ya, kind of thing. Maybe funny faces or something. I don't know. So, anyways, I will see y'all later. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, uh, uh, Mary. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, who all joined me here. Um, Dracula, Star. Thank you for joining me. Uh, uh, you know, looks like who's that? I just passed him. Shane Shen. Thank you for joining me. And I noticed there's some people that didn't talk; they just watched. So just thank you all for joining me, and wanted to give you a quick.
Got it.
Sorry, what? Yeah, that's all the way down. So I just wanted to say thank you all for joining me, and have all of you have a good day and supporting my channel.